Her name was Henrietta, and she made her screen debut in 1924 at the tender age of 10. And over the next 50 years, she appeared with all the Warner Brothers greats, with more than 150 movies to her credit. Henrietta was a 1914 Ford, originally bought by the studio from a Los Angeles butcher. Now, while Doris Day and Gordon MacRae are the human stars of the movie we're about to see, there's also Corky and Gregory. Corky was a dog with a fair amount of experience in the motion picture business, while Gregory, the turkey, was making his screen debut. He was picked out of the 50 turkeys that showed up for the audition. I guess it was his eyes. But he never quite made it to stardom. The problem was, this poor thing, was allergic to air conditioning, and when he was brought onto the soundstage, his head turned blue. I don't make this up, folks. The other 49 turkeys had already been sent home, so the studio was kind of stuck with this poor thing, and they had to turn off all the air conditioning for all the scenes and let the cast and crew kind of sweat it out, including Doris Day and Gordon MacRae. But they liked the turkey anyway. It was delicious on Thanksgiving. Here they are, and by the light of the Silvery Moon. Did you notice the guy who played the announcer in this movie? That was Merv Griffin before he started the game show business. He was just starting to climb to the top in those days. The star of the movie, of course, was Doris Day, who was making $5,000 a week, which was really a lot of money back in those days. She was the top female box office draw in the United States, and she was near the top of the music polls, too. Everybody thought her life was just perfect the way it looked on the screen. She just married Marty Melcher, who left Century Artists to manage her career full-time. He produced her records, he managed their music publishing company, handled all the negotiations for the contracts. He's a very savvy guy, savvy enough, for example, to retain the TV rights to her movies. Well, their marriage lasted until Marty's death, which was back in 1968. And then Doris found out that Marty's management techniques weren't as good as she thought they were. One day, she woke up and found herself completely broke. She bounced back, though, as a television star with the Doris Day Show, which was to run for 5 years. Now let's look at this.
The preceding was sponsored by Acura, who invites you to test drive the new TL.
We gave it exhilarating performance and the ultimate in luxury, because we believe a great luxury car should do more than just take people where they want to go. It should bring them to their feet. The new RL from Acura.
Tonight on AMC, the staff is ready to celebrate an old-fashioned Christmas, but thorns are about to spring from the mistletoe in a special holiday episode of Remember When. And Peggy Ann Garner stars with Dorothy McGuire in Elia Kazan's Oscar-winning classic, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. Have a memorable Christmas tonight with AMC.
Republic. I like the sound of the word.
AMC presents an American legend, the Battle of the Alamo.
And I feel sure that where Crockett leads, his men will follow.
Directed by an American legend, John Wayne.
I hope Texas remembers.
The Alamo, Saturday on AMC.
This week on AMC's Saturday Classics, in 1962, Frank Sinatra co-produced and starred in a political thriller that was called everything from un-American to right-wing propaganda. Legend says Sinatra shelved it for over 25 years. Today, it stands as a taut, relevant film, arguably Sinatra's best. Lawrence Harvey, Angela Lansbury, and Janet Leigh co-star in The Manchurian Candidate. This week at 6 p.m. Eastern, only on AMC's Saturday Classics.
Romance. It's something that we can never have too much of. So Romance Classics, the new network from AMC, wants to make sure you get your fair share with Sunday Romance Classics on AMC. Each week, you'll get to see your favorite romantic movies and original programming from the network that's the authority on romance. This week, married against her will to a life in the remote Irish landscape, a determined young girl struggles to return to her one true love in the passionate conclusion of Falling for a Dancer. Don't miss Sunday Romance Classics this week at 4 p.m. Eastern, only on AMC.
On the next AMC Behind the Screen, he's the brains behind the Man of Steel.
There was a point where there was a very great danger that the entire project would collapse.
Find out how director Richard Lester kept Superman flying high. And grab a life jacket. We're headed down the river of no return. Also, it's been a year of secrets, stars, and exclusives. Check out our best moments of '98. All that and more on the next AMC Behind the Screen. Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 9 Pacific, only on AMC.